Um, this exhibit is the original tents, the original cars that were burned, the lost and found, the footage that both Hamas themselves broadcasted and those kids as they were running away trying to get to their families broadcasted on their phones. And the way we put together this exhibit was very different from what would happen in Tel Aviv because everyone in Israel already knew what had happened, had experienced it. But we wanted to do something here that made people understand that Nova, what happened to those kids and what happened here, what you're going to see, these were innocent people. And it is absolutely inexcusable that we as a world and as a community can't come forward and denounce this behavior. And I am glad that a special announcement, I've said it before, but we are officially opening in mid-August in Los Angeles. Running that exhibit through October, and I can tell you there's nothing political about it. It is truly about a music festival, and the way we're doing the tickets, the same way we did in New York, $2 to $8 just to cover the processing fees, and half the time we're going to be letting in people for free. Because we don't want to give anyone an excuse not to witness this and see themselves and their humanity. And that is kind of why I'm here today. My brother and friends invited me. I've seen the film, and like I said, you're all brave, and I'm honored to see this many people here to witness it on a Monday night. Sexual violence and rape should never be used in warfare, should never be used at all, and it should never be excused. Unfortunately, with all the evidence, God has helped and others, the UN finally acknowledged it, but it took 6 months for them to say the evidence was credible. And in that time, we saw many of our own politicians deny this. And I want to be clear on the main reason I'm here. I always get a kick out of the fact that people think I'm here because I'm Jewish, because my family's Holocaust survivors. That's a big part of my identity. But like many of you, I've been there as a part of other, calls for help. And what bothers me the most and why I'm glad that there's so many from different communities here is that two things can be true. When I teach my children, just like so many of you teach yours, empathy should not have a limit. I should mourn for your family in Gaza the same way you mourn for these people. I should want aid going into Gaza the same way I want hostages to come home. And you do not have to pick sides to have empathy and have a seat at the table for humanity. And I think every single... So the reason I'm here is just to say, please, this is not about sides. This is about seeing your daughter. It's about seeing your mother. It's about seeing your friends. It's about seeing your sister. And speaking to others and demanding they see this film and saying no, and not letting a very loud minority divide us. Because I can assure you that we are in the majority. So with that, I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank my brother Sam for inviting me to the screening, and then I found out I was hosting. If you're from a Jewish family, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you once again for coming to see this, and you'll see a video from my friend later, but I can tell you that so many people put a lot into this film and took a lot of risks. And it means a lot that you're witnessing it. It means a lot that you're spreading it. And I hope that when you leave here, you encourage all your friends and family to go on YouTube and do the same. And thank you very much. Hold on. I'm gonna get in trouble with her. I forgot something. There's one thing you told me to talk about. Anti-Semitism. The thing I want to say about that is there's an underlying issue that many of your Jewish friends are going through, which is, why is this issue you're about to witness actually being ignored? And, when we talk about anti-Semitism, all I want to offer for every single one of you out there is whether you are Jewish, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, or whether you're atheist, we all know what it's like to be ignored when we're crying out for help. And The importance of this is to realize that anti-Semitism, whether you want to believe it or not, plays a role in why there is so much silence around this. But the same thing we've all learned is, that golden rule. Anti-Semitism is not the only problem in this country, in our community. Islamophobia is a problem in our community. Hate, in general, is a major problem within our community that scares all of us when it comes to our children. So when we ask you to scream out against anti-Semitism, you have every right to look us back in the eye and say, scream for me as well, and we all need to start screaming for each other. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Scooter. This is so wonderful of you. Words that I will never forget. I wanted to introduce our friend Sheryl Sandberg in a minute, but I wanted to first thank a few people for making this event really happen. And Sam, I want you to stand up, please. This is Scooter's brother, Sam. Thank you so much for everything. And where is Amanda? Amanda Colbeck, where are you? This evening would not be happening if not for Amanda. I don't know where you are, but thank you so much for everything. I want to thank our Committee for Justice for Women for everything you've been doing. I want to thank Rose Rothstein and for everything that her staff and her team have been doing. This evening would not happen without all these organizations coming together and making it happen. And with that, let me just say a couple of things. Sheryl Sandberg is a great voice. She's a great woman. In a world where it's so difficult for women to actually emerge, she's emerged with class and distinction and has made a huge difference in our cultural world, but also for women. She's led women to believe in themselves. And Sheryl Sandberg is actually taking the helm to making sure that this film is supported by everyone, so everyone sees it. With that, let me introduce you to Sheryl Sandberg.
This has become the most important work of my life because the politics of today, the polarization we face, are making us turn a blind eye to something that should be completely obvious.